And now for my second video. If you watched any of the previous videos I had on working on my boat, you'll know that I've had a frightful time with this little monster back here, my transmission. So what happened was when I took out my original transmission, it was all the gears were ground to smooth, and I got rid of it. And my friend Jerry said you need to get a velvet drive transmission, and so I did. However, the velvet drive transmission is different than the transmission I had in here, and I figured out the secret. The velvet drive transmission for forward gear spins the same way as your engine spins, and mine spins clockwise. And so this velvet transmission in forward spins clockwise, which, because I have a right-handed prop, means that forward makes me go backward, and reverse makes me go forward. So that's an issue. So if you were around for the previous videos, you know the travails I had in replacing this transmission. I put it in, took it out, put it in, took it out, put it back in many times, and finally got it set. Now you can see that my shifting linkage is not okay. So right now it just it's zip tied in place, and that's supposed to allow me to shift properly. Well, that's not okay. So today I have a plate that I'm going to hook to these bolt holes that are just beyond that little brass plate there, and try to get it to work. I don't think it's going to work. I think I need to change my idea already thinking this. Okay. But at any rate, so when I was gone for the couple of years, at one point Jerry called me and said, hey, Yankee, he calls me Yankee, I need to use that transmission that we put in your boat for another client, and when you get back here, we'll make it square. So I trust Jerry. He's done so much for me. So I say, yeah, Jerry, whatever you need, go ahead, take it. So Jerry came and took this transmission out, and so when I got here to the boat this year, there was no transmission. So because forward was reverse and reverse was forward, Jerry and I talked about a solution, and the obvious solution is I have a right-handed propeller, and we just replace it with a left-handed propeller, and forward will be forward and backward will be backward. So reverse will be backward. But I came up with this other clever idea. Why don't we just get a transmission that spins in the other direction? Not knowing how velvet drives really worked. And so he said, yeah, I have like a bunch of velvet drive transmissions out in my yard. We could pull one that goes in the other direction and we'll be good. I said, that's great. So we pulled a transmission. The direction on top showed that it spins counterclockwise. Everything looked good. Put it in, and there was no spin. Oh, by the way, putting it in was a huge ordeal. These things weigh a bajillion pounds, and trying to get it into that little space is very difficult. So as I just say blithely, put it in. It was actually quite a bit of work to get it put in, and it didn't work. It didn't spin. So I researched the velvet drive, and you can change the forward direction based on the direction of your engine, but it's only based on the direction that your engine spins. So you can't really change the way a velvet drive spins. So I took it out and tried to change the pump so that it would spin clockwise like my engine, but I couldn't get the plate to move. So I went back and got this transmission that was the original velvet drive that was in here, and put it back in. Again, a very large ordeal. Got it in and secured and all bolted up and all that, and when I start the boat, it spins. So everything's good to go there. I just have to fix that shifting linkage. I made a piece for it, but it sticks forward too much and it has to stick up. Jerry discouraged me from having it stick up. I don't know why, but um, I needed to go upwards for it to work for this. And then once I get that linkage set up, it should be able to shift with confidence forward, neutral, and reverse. And still, forward will be reverse and reverse will be forward. But we have a plan to change the prop and make it all good. So I'll let you know. So just so you know, the linkage will go into the bolt holes like this hole right here and the one below it, but on the other side of the transmission. That's my goal. All right. See you next time.